this is where that yellow texture is from for the women. Can you tell me what is that yellow texture of the women and what the ribs have to do with it? Mike is yours.
Thank you very much. First of all, scientifically speaking, the verse.
Let me jump in here for a minute. Before you answer that question, just hold one moment. I got a little technical problem here. Okay, let me fix this. Okay. All right, go ahead.
Okay, I was saying, scientifically speaking, the verse means that, of course, the sexual organs are located between the backbone and the rib. And this was revealed in the 7th century. And science just could not talk about it because they were at not that level, because Prophet Muhammad came with a message that was beyond the level of science or anything that came from man. Now, you read that hadith you were talking about that Ibn Kathir is referring to, and I will tell to you to be sincere enough to accept the truth when it is mentioned. If you go to that same hadith in the books of fiqh, go to a book, since you are familiar with our books, then go to Bulugh al-Maram, which is a book of fiqh written by Al-Hafiz Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, and you will see that hadith was also reported by Maymuna, the wife of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, radiyallahu anha wa radaha. This is how it goes. In that hadith, they were, when a woman is in her cycle, they cannot pray, they cannot fast, and you know that better, since I know you must have relatives as Muslims. Then, those women, sometimes they would see certain liquids coming out of them, and they wouldn't determine whether this is part of the blood of their cycle, so as to abstain from praying or fasting or anything like that. And Prophet Muhammad responded to her and said, go, and if you sit on a container full of water, and that liquid will drop in the water, if it has the color as safra, yellow, then you know it is not the blood of the cycle. Then you may continue to pray or to fast. Now, I haven't even answered yet.
Let me jump in here, guys. Since you are on this discussion, I will jump in. And just before, Christian friends, before you make your point, let me jump in here and say what you're talking about here, the formation of sperm here. Here's an error. The verse says that it is the drop that is emitted from the chest area. It's not referring to the testicle that descends from the abdominal area, not the chest. Here's the problem here, and I want you all to answer this. One of you to answer this for me. By definition, a drop is a small quantity of liquid that is separated from a larger body of liquid. Gravity acts upon it, and it drops. That's the term drop. But here's the problem. Here's why we have a contradiction here in the Quran. Drops are not in the human body. They are outside of it. Human blood flowing through the vein is not in drops. Neither in the seminal fluid, which is emitted from the prostate. So the problem, the contradiction here is that drops are not in the human body because gravity acts upon it and it drops. So that seminal fluid, it is the seminal fluid that carries the sperm from the testicles as it exists the body, as it exits the body, then form drops. So what the Quran verse is talking about is not testicles, but seminal fluid, semi-fluid, or whatever you call it. My wife is a nurse; she knows these things. But anyway, and what the Quran is talking about here, or should be talking about here, is sperm mixture that has left the body during sexual intercourse. It is the drop that the Quran says is formed from between the backbone and the rib. That is obvious. It's obvious, a blatant error. There's an error there. And it does say, I'm looking at the verse. It does say he created, now let man but think what he has created. He is created from a drop emitted proceeding from between the backbone and the rib. My question to you two, how are you getting drops in the body when drops are not in the body? They're outside of the body.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Let me answer first as far as the drop is concerned.
That is obvious.
I think it was my turn, right?
Far
yeah.
Being medical, scientifically correct there. Go ahead, Chris, your mic.
Okay. Actually, if I heard him correctly, he mentioned the name of the book. This is the name of the book he mentioned. I will post the link. You will see that what he said about the explanation of the verse in there, it's not exist. Open the link, and you can see by yourself. And if we go to the book of Al-Razi or any explanation he wants in Arabic, I can show you that even Al-Razi is giving us more details, and those details, they are really scary. Even Al-Razi, he is saying that the ribs of the women, they are the place where as a station for the sperm of the women. Like the sperm of the women. According to this, the Quran is saying that the women, she have a sperm. This is a sperm. The woman, she don't have a sperm. Who said that women have a sperm anyway? This is a huge mistake. And if there is something is coming from her ribs, what is that thing will create the baby? The womb of the women is down, all the way down. There is no need to say, from the backbone and the ribs, the backbone of the man and the ribs of the women. If you see in here, the word between, which means baina, it's not saying from between this location to this location. No, it says between the man backbone and the women ribs. It's not between the backbone of the same body, the same human. There is two humans. There is the man and there is the women. So the Quran is saying to us that gushing fluid is coming from between two parts. The part of the man, which is the backbone, and the part of the woman, which is her ribs. And this is a very, very huge mistake. And as you said, that the testicle of the man, they are out of his body even, and they are not in the back, they are in the front. They are totally in the opposite direction, and they have nothing to do with the backbone. And I'm sure our brother there, he will give me a speech about the new scientist discovery. The science, we go to school, I have degrees. I am not someone, he is coming from the street and saying to you, I am like, all of us, we go to school, I respect you. But what you are saying to me, it's against even what your prophet saying. You can open right now any explanation you want. I have all the explanation of Sunnah, and I'm assuming that you are a Sunni. You can start from Al-Faruz, بحر العلوم، النكت العيون، معالم التنزيل، المحرر، زيد المسير، تفسير القرآن ابن عبد السلام، مدارك التنزيل، الباب التأويل، البحر المحيط، التفسير، غرائب القرآن، الجواهر. Anyone you want, and you will see all of them, they agree with me, not with you. So it's very clear that you are trying to cover a huge mistake in the Quran, but I think you fail. Thank you.
With all due respect, I really appreciate the fact that you went to school and understand English. And Mr. the moderator, it looks like you're taking a position in this debate, and I would like to correct the word drop as you explained. If you go back to the American dictionary, or you go to Webster's dictionary, you will see that the word drop means this. And one of them is a very small quantity of liquid. It is not telling you coming from inside out or outside in. And in the body, you can find small quantities of many types of liquid. And I will leave my brother Nabil to go through those verses in order to show you where you are wrong, that you may learn something new tonight.
Hello? Hello? Are you there? Okay.
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead.
I've probably heard the sentence as well, maybe the statement, Al-Quran يفسر بعضه البعض. So if there is really a point, which means in English that the Quran explains itself with itself. So this means if there's some verse in which there's a dispute about it and there's a to the Quran in another place where Allah is also talking about the same concept. So here we are in Surah Al-Dahr, which is Surah number 76, and it is ayah, let's say we start with the first one, saying هل أتى على الإنسان حين من الدهر